Hi guys, my name is Crystal. This is Good Morning 3. I've been to the Demeltzer charity shop in Rochester High Street. I've been to the chemist, which is within the post office, because I needed to top up £35 on my gas because it only lasts a week. I also went into newsagents to get some cat litter because I couldn't get it off of the Tesco Whoosh delivery. Walking down Rochester High Street after last Friday, which has been the first time. The last time I walked down Rochester High Street, it was last Friday when I had a great big blister on my foot from walking from Durrell Gardens to Corey's Road in the ice and the snow. That's the first time I'd been down the high street since. I wasn't feeling very well. I wasn't feeling very happy. I'm disgusted at some people how they're condoning this bullying. This bullying. Stay straight. This bullying towards me, Crystal. I'm a straight heterosexual woman. I'm being called really bad, disgusting names, and I'm a woman. I know my mum used to take the mickey out of Derek, my father. She used to call my father a fairy, a queer, and I'm Derek's daughter, and I don't know why these horrible words have been transferred onto me, because my dad died in August 2021 of a heart attack, and I know because I obviously saw my dad's dead body in the Co-op funeral service coffin, and I've got a picture of the coffin lid with my dad's name on, the date that he died. Unfortunately, the other photos I took of my father in the Arethusa room of the Co-op funeral director's office in Chatham have got deleted. My father had a beard, Derek had a beard. That the sight of my father's body in that coffin I will never forget. My mum had told the Co-op funeral service to rinse my dad's mouth out, wash his hair, and it was almost like she was talking about my dad like he was a filthy tramp. When, to be honest, my mum dresses like a tramp herself. She does. She wears old men's trousers, and there's no need for her to dress like that, because when I first came down from Gloucester to Chatham, where I was living, she had a ceiling full of clothes, tops, skirts, dresses. I don't know why my mum started to dress like an old man, because she actually looked and looks now like an old man, the way she's dressing. And is that fraud? Is she trying to look like my dad? Because a woman usually wears skirts, even old ladies wear skirts and pretty tops and things. Why is my mum dressing like an old man? You've got to question that. Why is she purposely dressing like an old man? When my dad died, my whole world fell apart. One, because I wanted questions as to why my dad did those things to me. Two, he was controlling me at the age of, in my 50s. And he died and left this planet without giving me any answers. This is difficult going through this. And, Dave Peltzer is a guy in America whose mother abused him. And he talks quite frankly about how his mother mistreated him and didn't like him, who humiliated him. So, it's not... Rather than keep carrying on as if life has been a bowl of cherries, it hasn't. I've not said the truth. I've just kept, quiet. But now I think the time is right for it to come out, especially after last Friday. My mother didn't know me when I came down to Chatham. I'd lived in Gloucestershire for 22 years. My dad had been giving my mum £300 housekeeping nearly every week. She was living a luxurious lifestyle. Maybe the house was shabby. 55 Victoria Road at that time had asbestos in the walls and it was falling apart. It's all been renovated now and let out to someone else, 55 Victoria Road. When I came down, the house was a mess. The walls were crumbling, there was a hole in the ceiling and a hole in the back door. And it was like a dungeon. It was like an underground dungeon. It was not fit to live in. But my mum was eating Aberdeen Angus burgers, Ferrero Rocher. My dad was giving her money, housekeeping, like in the Victorian ages. While I was homeless in Gloucestershire, trying to find food to eat, scrounging on the floor and crying because I couldn't find anything to eat, she was eating Aberdeen Angus burgers. Yes, she did send me postal orders in the post, but I was being attacked by various men and sexually assaulted and abused up there in Gloucester. That's the real truth, while she was eating and being looked after. My dad put out the olive branch and told me to come down to Chatham because my mother had told him I was living in sheltered accommodation and being looked after. Fairfield Court in Gloucestershire was not sheltered accommodation and I wasn't being looked after. I was being sexually abused by several men. And I was being knocked about as well, hit. So going back down Rochester High Street today after my mum had shut the door on me and I walked miles in the freezing cold and nearly froze to death and collapsed on the floor, because I did. She's now picking up the phone, laughing like nothing's happened, and I'm not having it. Not having it. So I went out to try and cheer myself up, to put my gas on. I'm not a fan of crowds of people. The same bollocks was going on. Men with Puma tops on coming at me. Dogs in the middle of the pavement, walking 3-4 abreast with dogs in the middle of the pavement. I'm not well. I'm not in the mood for it. I'm a victim and I'm being attacked and I've done nothing wrong. So I got my gas. I went into the chemist. Big issue sellers outside for the homeless. I went into the chemist. There was just one lady in the queue. Changing money, over £300 worth of money, changing it into English money. So I saw the post office lady count out £300 in front of my eyes. There was a gay man behind me. I love the gay community. I love Boy George. I loved him on Celebrity Jungle. He's one of my favourite celebrities. I love gay people. They're vibrant, they're outgoing, they're lovely, they're like best friends to me. Gay people. There was a gay man behind my back, and you can tell by the way they speak. It's not being derogatory. It's, that's the way a person is. You can tell what someone's like by their voice and how they carry themselves. Lovely, vibrant, gay young man behind me with short black hair, and he was wearing a top with the Muppets on. He had a Muppet top. My dad used to wear animal pyjamas in bed. The Muppets with animal on, with the teeth. My dad didn't have any teeth. My mum used to choose my dad's clothes, so when I went round there, he would be sat there with his animal Muppet pyjamas on with the big teeth hanging out. And my dad used to bare his teeth at me. When I used to sit by his bedside, he used to open his mouth and show all the gaps and the black teeth that he had. Because it frightens you, doesn't it? Dad used to do that to me. Open his mouth wide with all his black green teeth showing. She did used to take the mickey out of my dad, my mum. And I am a heterosexual woman. How many times do I have to keep saying? I was married for 18 years. I've got 4 lovely children. I'm trying to find another bit of happiness with someone else before I die. And no one's letting me. So, I'm just disappointed that people, when they bully, it's packs of them. It's not just one. They pounce on you when you're not feeling well as well. Not in the mood for it. Like you're some kind of joke. You're going to lose temper, jump on cars, be a nuisance. I've grown up. I've grown out of that. I deal with my anger in different ways because I'm an adult. I'm mature. I don't pick on people. You know, I've tried to have adult conversations with my mother, but she's like a big kid inside and doesn't listen. She doesn't let me speak. She won't let me be a human being, be alive. She's got to smother me until I suffocate. 3 calls a day. Have a good day. Have a good afternoon. Knowing that that will trigger me into doing something bad. Well, it used to. It doesn't do it now. Why can't you just leave somebody alone? As soon as I go out my front door, the crap starts. As it did in Victoria Road. My mum wants to be the centre of attention. She wants all eyes on her. And she wants to crush me. And I am crushed. And I'm tired and exhausted. So I'm going to recuperate with that. I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to revive myself and get away from that woman. See you later.